Conservation Commission meeting Wednesday, June 21st, 2017. It's 7 p.m. and 39 Gilmore Drive. If you'd like to state your name and tell us why you're here, please.
Good evening, thank you. My name is Steve O'Connell from Andrews Survey and Engineering. And I'm here on an informal nature. I believe the Commission is aware that there was an inquiry about the activity that took place regarding the building addition at 39 Gilmore Drive, that's known as Ross Express. So I just wanted to maybe give you a little bit of history, and hopefully we can provide a little bit of resolution to a situation. So this is the plan from 2004 that was approved by the planning board and was built. At that time, which was common for the planning board and the planning department, was provisions for future expansion. So that was provided here, and then recently, 2016, they actually went forward with that expansion. We went to the planning board to make sure that they were aware. They voted. Construction took place. They got a building permit. Construction occurred, and then got an occupancy permit. At the time, we were very well aware, and we've done almost all the sites in the industrial park. We're very familiar with all the properties, the wetlands, soil conditions, etc. So this is the 100-foot buffer zone that was established obviously many years ago. If you were to flag it today, the wetlands may move 2 feet, 3 feet. You know, they could get better, they could be worse. But regardless of whether they moved a few feet or not, no work occurred outside of, first of all, outside of the pavement. There was a very limited limit of work that took place really outside of this box right here. So you can see we're nowhere near the 100-foot buffer. I was copied on an email that indicated that perhaps we might want to submit an RDA. And if that's the way the commission really feels, well, no, we'll do it, because it's really not worth fighting about, but we'll do it. But because we have time between your deadline and the meeting in July, and get on this meeting this evening to have this discussion, I thought that I would be able to present some information to you that might help fill in some gaps in information that maybe that you weren't aware of. So this is the as-built that we prepared recently, within the last 20 to 30 days, that shows the foundation as-built added to the existing building. If I were to transpose the 100-foot buffer, you can see it comes through the stormwater basin. That basin was built as part of the original site development. So that basin, and it's maintained, it's mowed and cleaned up and everything. So you can see, that 100-foot buffer doesn't even reach the pavement where the work took place. The drain manholes, those weren't touched at all. It was just the building addition, the extension of these concrete pads for the dollies, for the tractor trailers, short little retaining wall here and here.
What's the resource that's driving the BVW?
No, it's that large swamp that goes between here and Barnett Road.
It's not a stream, it's not a...
No, there's no riverfront. There's no riverfront
Right.
area. It's just BVW.
Yep.
Right. So, if that helps fill in some gaps, great. If it doesn't, then I understand that too. But I thought I would take the opportunity and see if you still feel as though an RDA is something that you want to see. Said I don't think we're in a position to argue with you, but I thought that having some illustrations and show you that it's, in my mind, it's not really even in question. But if it is in yours, I'll respect that and do what you wish. But
Who's the stamp on the plan?
Paul Hutnick. So,
Do you know who flagged the wetland originally?
Ecotech. So I know from information that I believe it was in a butter who made the initial call, kind of inquiring, and perhaps you didn't have the information that I was able to give you tonight.
Yep.
This is helpful.
So if you still feel that way, said I'm not going to argue with you. We've got a good relationship.
Existing prior to the addition, the entire thing was paved with berms and so forth?
Oh yeah, yep,
And
everything.
how much of the pavement did you remove in the process of putting the addition in? And/or did you regrade the parking lot as a result of the retaining walls?
Nope, everything. So the building got put in, pavement was cut and removed to accommodate the addition. Pavement was cut and removed to accommodate the concrete pads for the dollies. And then new paving was installed in between. And then paving was, as a result of excavations, some pavement went in, but then some concrete pads went in to accommodate the doors on the end for some short trucks that they have. And then this is a set of stairs that lead up to a man door here. But the pavement was put back in place at the same grade, with one exception. The pavement was raised along this edge by about a foot and a half at the most, and along this edge by about a foot to a foot and a half. And then the retaining wall was put in to accommodate that grade change. But all the pavement, there's less pavement now because pavement was replaced with roof. But no increase in pavement. All this curb and berm and pavement was all in place prior to this addition work as part of the original site development.
Any comments? Dan, Lauren, Bob?
Looks like they're all outside of our jurisdiction.
That's what I
And
feel too.
thanks for coming in.
Thanks for coming in. Sorry you had to come in, but
No, I appreciate the opportunity to kind of go over this.
On such a
That's
nice
the way
night
I
like
feel.
this.
first night of summer.
Yeah.
Okay.
Might ask just to be.
Is anyone in the audience interested? Good call, Dan. Thank you very much.
Appreciate it.
Have a great
You
night.
too. Thank you.
Thank you.
If you want to just continue the next two that I gave you the small favors for.
705 15 West Sutton Road.
Make a motion to continue to August 2nd at 7:05.
Second.
All those in favor? Aye. 705 227 Putnam Hill Road, Blackstone National Golf Course.
Make a motion to continue to July 19th at 7:55.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. We'll get 10 minutes to kill here. Minutes. Did we get the minutes from June 7th? No?
It's tabled, you said it was tabled, so no, I have
Okay.
not seen it.
Motion table them or just?
Okay, so since we have time, we got 10 minutes, and you can pick from something that we want to do here. Do you want to sign the permits from the last meeting that didn't get signed? I'm sorry I wasn't here, but
Sure.
we can do that if you want. And that would be real helpful. Okay, so we have 360 Boston Road. The paperwork was misplaced, so they need another copy. Apparently I mailed it to the wrong place, but they didn't tell me that, so unfortunately, we have to re-sign it again. Then we have 17 Southwick Road. that was
What's a
approved.
DOA?
Determination of applicability. That's from your request for determination.
I think we've signed. Didn't we sign Southwick Road? That was the two trees.
That was the one you signed for the emergency certificate.
But we never found this.
We never
What
did that one?
happened was,
Okay.
the meeting before that, I didn't have the certificate. So remember you came in?
I came in and signed the
signed it?
emergency.
Okay, so these that I'm giving you right now are from the last meeting to just be signed so that I can process them. Brandon has already done his part of the process.
Sorry.
Got the signatures on it.
And then we have the one from National Grid, that, the one that they were looking for, 0666. That's here too, because that didn't get signed either. And Brandon said everything is fine. Look at all the paperwork on it. And I'll pick these up at the other end.
What was this here for one?
That was one that you had permitted before, and so I forgot about the,
11
plans.
Ramshorn Road.
Yeah, the plan should be signed too. something
So
like that.
this is all set to be signed.
Yeah. And then this. Final. That's good. Okay, so these are all right, these are all right. And I can get these done. Which one is that? 39, okay, I'll take that one too.
So that was 37 West Sutton, 1 Maple Street, and 62 Wilderness Drive. We did all those.
Yeah, you did those, you did National Grid, which was the one above that, and you did 36 Boston Road,
Okay.
17 Southwood are also done.
42 Bond Hall Road and 11 Glen Court. I did sign the reimbursement
Okay, yeah, those
forms.
have to be reimbursed, which I will take care of that.
So those have been signed.
Yeah, and then, what else do we have here? 2 letters were returned, so I mailed out a second letter to 192, 198.
You use those mailing addresses now because they're both living there.
Yeah, I didn't know that at first because it was not registered downstairs. So she had to go in and get the deed to find out what's going on with that. I also went and checked in the building department too to see if the occupancy permit had been permitted. So those were taken care of. I sent the letter out to 62 about the refreshing of the erosion control. Someone needs to go out and do a site visit. I forgot to ask Brandon, I don't remember if he had gone out there or not, but, that's up to you guys if you wanna contact him. I'm not
Do
sure.
you want me to, text him? See if he has been out there?
If you want to, that yeah.
Yeah.
Wanna do that? The other thing is, the June 7th meeting minutes needs to be tabled. We didn't kinda get them quick enough
Okay.
before Joyce left. Let's see what else we got here. I think we got, the guideline changes, that's something you guys, if you're
Brandon's
still
been working
working
on.
on it, that's fine. Let's see, track sheets, you should have the recent track sheets, there is a little bit more information on them. I've been working on 2013, trying to see, I've got probably 10 letters I'm gonna send out probably next week. I'll start sending them out to have them do their certificates. I'll send them a request for the certificate along with the letter, and then.
How many
hopefully we'll
open
get
ones are out there that are
300.
300 open ones?
300. And that includes the recent ones too, that includes the 17s, the 16s. So they've got 3 years anyway, so I don't do too much with that. I've been trying to go back, that's why you got that one on 160. Didn't put 2 and 2 together on
That's
that one.
17 years old, yeah.
Right, so.
Are there a lot that old?
Yeah, there's some that is 17, some that is 20, believe it or not. And still, when the government gave those 2 years, 2 years, 2 years, the lawyers weren't really doing too much with the title searches. And all of a sudden, I get phone calls, I need it yesterday. Well, no, you're gonna have to wait another couple of weeks. So what the banks do is they hold back a little money. The thing still goes forward, it doesn't stop the signing. And then one with like the 11 Glen Court, okay, they held back. And then she will get her, when I process this, she'll get her check. And then, Bond Hall will get their check. It will be processed next Tuesday, I believe. And then the checks will go out next Wednesday.
Okay.
And so it's a process they have to go through. Now, let's see, so, the site visit list, you also have that, if there's anything you see on there that's been done or, needs to be done, if somebody wants to go out and do a site visit, just let me know so that I know to mark it off or remove it from the sheet. Some of them are a couple years old because of the snow and grass wasn't high, or, you know, they just got put on the list. You know, it's very hard to keep track of some of this stuff. It's just very busy.
Anything old like that, is there any statute of limitations?
That, I don't know. I would think if they want their certificate, they're gonna have to, you know, technically I shouldn't be keeping track of that, they should. And what happens too with an order of conditions that needs a septic, they get their certificate at Board of Health, they forget about us.
I think they're done.
And that's why we've got a lot of files, that's why we've got over 300 files. You know, they think they're done, but they're not. 'Cause
Well,
there's 3 departments here.
I would like to get as many of those out. Stuff that's sitting around that
Yeah.
doesn't need to be
I've
there.
been going back, what happens is I take the file, I go downstairs, find out if there's a new owner. I take the front sheet of the plans, I scan that, get that in, make a copy, send that with the letter and say, this is your plan number, this is the engineer that was, we just need a letter from the engineer. Which, you know, a lot of people have been trying to fix them, but it's time consuming. I just don't wanna send it out to who is in the file because it could be wrong. Could be new owners that haven't got a clue. And a lot of that's been happening too, so.
Any other business for the next couple of minutes?
Gotta reorganize.
We do, but we need a motion for that.
I'll make a motion to replace Billy Wentz with Dan Maroney as chairman of the Conservation Commission.
I will second.
You're a nice person.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Now we need another one.
I make a motion to appoint Joyce as co-chair and replace Lauren as she is leaving.
I will second.
All those in favor? Aye.
I'd like to
Joyce?
make a motion to thank Lauren for her service and wish her a enjoyable trip in
Thank you.
Denver.
I'll second that. Wish you all the best on your retirement, and I'll thank the town for a year here as
I
chair.
know. I'm way away
Wow.
from that.
Retirement from
Yeah.
the town of Sutton board. Still have a minute.
I know. Move that clock is right. Yeah, this is. It's hard to coordinate these clocks around here. So, I mean, you can read it if you want.
I'll read it in by the time it's read.
I'll make a motion to waive the reading.
Perfect.
I will second that motion.
All those in favor?
This one has been
Aye.
continued a few times, so,
We waive the reading.
yeah.
And it's 7:20, so 28 Wheelock Road. Thank you for waiting patiently.
There's a couple extra plans.
One can go right there without a doubt.
Okay. No,
Right, for the record, Mike Yerka from Civil Site Engineering, representing Timothy Morse on this project. I believe the original hearing on this was in January, and from what I understand, Brandon and Margaret, the wetland scientist, business partner, were to meet on the site and go over the wetland limits, the flagging. That took place, there was a few give and take, and they came to an agreement on the wetland line at that time. And, but that took quite a while due to the winter. So I think it was in March by the time they went out there and did the final site visit. And I guess what it was up in this area here on the abutting property, there was some seeps with the high groundwater seeping out the side. So as you can see in this area here, the original line came down through here, and the new line that included the ground seeps came in across and then swung down and into this way. So it moved the buffer zone a bit into us, a bit more. So I guess Margaret Bacon and Brandon, I guess they came to a decision that we should come in and run this by the board, see how the board felt. Because it's a tight lot. This is the only area where any buildings can be constructed on this whole lot. So we redid a revised plan, put the revised 50-foot buffer zone and 25-foot buffer zone in. The 100-foot buffer zone takes in that whole area, so that would be across the street. But the first one is the 25 and the 50. As you can see, the septic is outside the 50-foot buffer zone. It's a single-family pre-existing non-conforming lot. And the building, the house itself to be proposed, is a small corner in the southeast corner of the house that dips into within the 25-foot buffer zone. And I understand there's a policy of the board that likes to keep the 25-foot buffer zone undisturbed. This all, by the way, this all takes place in a field. There's no trees. This is just an open field. So there'll be no removal of any trees, and it's basically a hay field. So, but in lieu of that, I believe that Brandon and Margaret had talked about a mitigation on the site, which, as you can see, they blew it up on this one. There's an existing shed that sits over here in the middle of the wetland, and I guess it's filled with, old metal, whatever, tractors, cars, tires. So Brandon had suggested that possibly we restore that area, taking down the shed, removing anything that's inside, any metals, anything like that. And in lieu of this small corner over here of this building in the 25-foot buffer zone. So what happens is you're gonna end up getting a bit extra wetland at the restoration without giving up any wetland. We're not proposing to alter any wetland in this area. So I believe we're here, like I said, Brandon had suggested that we come in and see how the board felt with this little piece being crossed over into the 25-foot buffer zone. And then if the board felt comfortable with that, we would just proceed with the final plan with the restoration notes and grading. So I believe that's the reason we're here.
Well, if I'm not mistaken, and I may be, you got a 12 by 12 deck that falls within 25 feet. You got a swale, you got part of the paved driveway, all falls within 25 feet, plus a piece of a retaining wall, or several pieces of retaining
A
wall.
bit of retaining wall. The driveway, is that the new one they have with the
Well,
the turnaround?
Well, the one I've got shows me a dotted
Yeah.
line to the edge of the driveway, which is right here. Isn't that dotted line to the edge of the driveway?
Right, and here's the new turnaround here that just touches in here, so
Yeah, right
this
here.
would be touching it, that's right, it's
And
a
this-
small area
This
here.
deck here as well.
That's right, that's above, that'd be a few posts in there.
Well,
Absolutely,
say
yeah,
It
yeah.
doesn't display on this drawing, so I
Exactly.
gotta ask a question
Yeah,
for.
that's fine, oh, yeah, yeah, yep,
And of course,
absolutely.
The swale
Swale, yes.
also falls within that.
Yes, and we have a detail on that. That's to catch a bit of the paved driveway water. Here, it's not so much quantity, it's quality. We're just trying to clean up a little bit of the quality. Because again, the groundwater with the seeps and everything is close, so you're not gonna get really any infiltration. But quality-wise, with a swale, that'll slow down the runoff and clean it up from the driveway a bit. Also, like I said, as you can see, there's a catch basin. A lot of the Wheelock Road runoff hits the catch basins and all that road runoff coming down this hill runs through there, yes.
Is this line here?
That's the pave, yeah, that's line, that's the catch basin right here, yeah.
Where's the outlet for the catch basin?
We've got this line here, it's approximately in a stone wall in there somewhere.
So the catch basin is draining,
It should come down into this field. Correct.
which is the flow that's gonna be altered to some degree by the grade change in the stone walls
Not
and stuff
really, we
like
just
that?
have a little wall here, this should stay about even here. Should probably cut that wall off there, but,
Should stay.
yeah.
I'm just,
I'm just saying, yeah, yeah.
there's more than
Yeah.
just the quarter of the house is within the 25 feet.
Well, this isn't, this
No, I
opens
know,
here,
no, I
yeah,
understand,
right.
right here is,
Yeah,
there is,
smaller,
this is,
yeah.
that is, right?
yeah, within a foot or two,
And
yeah.
the deck.
And the deck,
Yeah, all right.
yeah. That's true, that's the
That was point I
line.
was trying to
Yeah.
make, that's all, all right.
That's the line that's there, so you see what you get, yeah. But basically, I mean, really, construction, obviously the deck's on the post, as you know. This is the only area here that's really not gonna have anything, that's the foundation. you
Unless
know?
I'm mistaken, is this purple line?
Erosion, just
Yeah,
erosion.
That's also gonna end up being a limited disturbance. So that means this entire area, which is all within the
Right.
25 feet, is now gonna become lawn. It's not gonna be part of the buffer zone, it's gonna be lawn. So as far as I can see, the entire 25 feet over to about here someplace is actually gonna be
Well,
worked on.
Right, it's gonna be probably just turned over and reseeded, because it's field now. Yeah, possibly.
I'm not
And
expert.
again,
According to Brandon,
yeah.
field is much more valuable than lawn is and everything else. So I mean,
Well,
there's a whole litany of things here we're talking about,
And
okay?
and that, well, and that's why we're here. I mean, there's no reason that, if it's up to you, we could cut that back with a fence bit there and eliminate out of that backyard. That's why we're here. We do have room to do that.
You gonna ask a question?
I
Have you
mean,
done the avoidance, all that avoidance stuff?
I believe so. The avoidance,
Should be in
the
the
list
file.
and everything.
Yeah, in the.
The NOI.
Yeah.
Did you send Brandon a PDF of the new plan?
Not yet. And like I said, he suggested we come in here for discussion purposes.
These are just Brandon's notes.
Mike, how'd you get the location for the house?
That's the only place it's gonna fit.
There's offsets for the septic, or
Yeah,
what's driving the location?
There's your 50-foot setback from the street, this
Okay,
line
yeah.
here, and that's your 20-foot setback from the sidelines,
Yep.
zoning.
Right.
So we pretty much squeezed it up. You don't want to put it right on the zoning line, we're within like 6 inches on both
Yeah,
of them.
yeah, it's tight.
Yeah, it is, absolutely.
There was some question one time that according to some pictures that we saw, that there were some trees along the stone wall.
Along the stone wall, correct. Nothing's, not touching anything over there. That's the, right here is where we're ending our info. This is a proposed wall here that holds everything in, see it? So we're not getting up to the stone wall. Let's see, that would be, our new wall is about 8 feet off that wall. So if you,
Your
those pictures, yeah.
Area disturbance to build that wall, we're down to maybe 5 feet off it or something of that nature.
It's not much of a wall, you take a peek at it. Very
And
low.
what's the function of the wall?
Haven't seen the
Just
detail.
grading,
Rating,
just for
yeah.
grading.
Haven't seen the
yeah.
details, so I can't tell you how big a wall it is or.
It's a stone wall. What is it?
Yeah, it's on the septic plan.
It's on the septic plan. Well, we'll have to give you the septic plan.
Bob,
We do,
Bob, anyone
Yeah.
else have comments before I
Drywall,
go to the
just-
audience?
I don't think Bob's done yet, but.
Oh, I know he's not done, but I was gonna let him study for a while. And one in the audience have any comments on this tonight?
Well, Brandon had, with somebody, Mark, are you gonna read in Brandon's thoughts on this, or you?
I don't have Brandon's email, but
Oh, you don't have it?
well,
New plans? I mean, is there any way we can see them too?
Sure.
yes.
Yeah.
Sure. Why don't you send one back?
Yeah.
Essentially, Brandon's thoughts are, unless there was substantial mitigation, that you should hold the 25-foot. No disturb, it's a precedent to allow, and it sounds as though there's a good amount of disturbance that they're proposing within the 25-foot. The removal of the shed, and I guess there's some debris in that
Yes.
area, will help as far as doing work within the 100-foot buffer zone. But as far as the 25-foot buffer zone, you should try to pull out as much work as
These
you
are
can from that
officially
area.
submitted.
Okay. That's,
Is
that's
there,
what we're trying to do, yeah.
is there any way, because I know it's gonna be asked, to get it any further out of that? I'm sure you've exhausted all.
The one thing, like I say, the one thing we had just talked about is the backyard. Here, we can pull, the building's pretty much, I don't have any place to go with the building. What we can do is, we can take this erosion control, we can cut this off for a smaller backyard here, so we can get this away from the wetland coming across this area here. So that'll save probably, I don't know, I'm just gonna take a guess at it here, probably 65, maybe 600 square feet of alteration there. And again, like I say,
It's going from a field to a lawn.
It's all, yeah. Right now, it's gonna take.
No trees coming, yeah.
Are they infiltrating the roof runoff?
Yeah, and we also moved the driveway up too on this plan compared to the first plan. So
Okay.
that was another mitigation that we pulled that away.
And another thing we're doing is we're changing the septic system to an advanced Presby environmental septic,
Yeah.
which gives additional treatment.
Yeah.
What would, you know? I feel like I shouldn't be saying these things.
Go ahead.
You moved, because of the advanced system, you've moved this closer to the road. But you haven't moved this wall and all this stuff this way, which you could do, or it seems to me you probably could do. See how this wall here was designed with this septic system being, or is this that's reserve system?
That's reserved, yeah. This here,
But could this
is
wall
on
be
this-
moved in here closer?
we could probably do that. It
Then
just.
this could move up this way a little bit, this house could turn
But
and
we need the reserve, see, we can't encroach on the reserve area. We could take the wall and leave that so that in the reserve area, they could rebuild the wall back here
yeah.
somewhere down the line, in
No, I
15
know.
or 20 years.
No.
But see, right here, if you take a look, you have to be, the Title V is 10 feet off the property line, the road line, and that's what we have there, so.
I'm trying to find a way where it
Yeah.
fits, everything fits inside
Sure.
the 25 foot. I'm wondering whether if this house
Yeah.
was put in this direction here, or even in this direction here,
Hmm.
okay? We would at least be inside the 25 foot disturbance.
If I'd have to come up a ways to here, I'd have to push this,
If you turn the house.
I can possibly
Rather
turn
than
the
having
house.
38 feet going down, if it was only 24 feet going down into it, 38 feet going this way, this septic tanks could be slid up a little bit.
A little, yeah.
We're talking inches here if you're
Yeah,
gonna
that's
try to
right,
make
we're
it work,
talking
all right?
inches. Yeah.
And, the other thing that, if you can get it inside the
If
25.
that works, yes.
And
If
obviously,
that works,
these,
yeah.
these signs don't go at the wetlands. They would end up going at the 25.
Wherever we're going to limit the
Disturbance,
alteration.
which
That's right.
we're trying to get to a point where
Minimal,
you're not inside the 25 foot at all.
okay.
Mike, did you go to CBA for a variance on the 50-foot?
We didn't. I mean, that's a possibility,
But it
but,
wouldn't work, because that pushes me closer to the septic, and I have to stay 20 feet away from the septic. So I can't move the house up any farther.
well,
Tight.
Yeah,
it's
tried it
just,
all.
yeah,
Tried
so
it
we're
all.
gonna, like I say, take that, probably, if I can
Yeah,
lay it along this line, this angle here, and still,
If you turn the
Make
house,
it.
you turn the house this way.
you know, maybe that way. I don't know.
I tried it.
38.
But-
The
I
opposite
think
way?
she tried it.
Yeah, you're still, I thought it was
Still,
less
Good,
impact the way I
30 by
had it,
24, 24.
so we can take a
That
look
will
at it.
be, yeah, we'll look at it, that'll be close, that may work that way. That, yeah, we'll twist them all the way around, do everything we can to keep everything out of the 25, or up to it.
And
If that's good, with the restoration over here.
I would like to, I know you said it.
Yeah,
And I believe you, but, you know, what you say and what's on paper are two
Yep.
different things, and I don't mean it the bad way.
I used to-
I'd like to see if there are any trees that ultimately
Sure.
could potentially
Absolutely.
impact
Yeah.
the, along the stone
That's
wall.
that's a stone wall down there, you can drive by yourselves and take a peek. And we'll we'll locate anything on the
Brandon
side
did
of
ask
the
that
wall.
too, he would like it all,
Yeah.
which I think makes sense.
Any trees that are on this side of the wall.
What's this?
What's that? What do you mean?
Well, I don't know, it almost looks like plantings.
That's
but
right,
I don't see a
plantings.
schedule here to indicate
Yeah,
anything, so I don't know
right.
what
Well,
they
this
are.
isn't the finished product.
Well, I understand that, that's why I'm asking the
Yeah, it's
question, okay?
plantings, yeah.
And
Yeah,
I don't know what they
plantings.
are, so
Be shrubs, and we'll have a planting schedule for that.
it should be located.
Yeah, right here.
Down below? Okay, so you gotta ask the person who actually did it.
Okay.
So, there you go.
So that's another form of mitigation, all the plantings.
Yes,
Removing the
yes.
shed,
Removing the shed and restoring that to,
additional wetland.
additional wetlands, correct. And like I said, whatever we can do to stay under that 25-foot, we'll do it. Again, we'll try turning that house sideways.
One of Brandon's comment was, I believe in all his years here, and Wanda might know this, we've
It's a tight
never
one.
been disturbing outside of some minor stuff
Mm.
inside the 25 foot, so obviously your work cut out for you.
Okay, so as long as we know where we stand on the 25-foot, other than that, I mean, with the restoration and that, the board probably doesn't have a real big headache. Going ahead, finish up this plan.
More detail on that plan?
Yes.
The
Oh, yeah,
better.
yeah, absolutely. Yep. Yeah, this here is, again, was
Well, we're not-
supposed
we're
for
not
the
happy with it
discussion.
being-
I know you're
We're
not.
not happy with the entire project being within the 100-foot buffer zone. It's not a good situation. You know, mostly, as you well know, you've done this a lot of years, that usually you're encroaching in the 100-foot buffer zone, not the entire thing being built in the 100-foot buffer zone. And, you know,
It's
I
it's
understand
a
that,
pre-existing non-conforming lot, so we'll just have to work with what we have and then try to overcome
And you
all the obstacles, right, absolutely. So again, we pointed out here where we're leaning as far as restoration goes. Restoration and again, pulling back the backyard, try to twist that house around, maybe do something a little different with the driveway. As I say, we're not talking a lot of.
What were we
area
saying
there,
with the deck? It'd just be the post going
It
on?
would just be, yeah, that'd be it's an overhanging deck with, right, the
but
Bigfoots.
typically underneath the deck.
Bigfoots. Yeah.
But typically, you're gonna have stone underneath the deck, not loam and lawn and stuff like that, and then again, it's within the 25 foot. I'd like to
We'll see
see
if we twist
everything
it.
outside the 25 foot and the wetlands place cards placed along the 25 foot.
Sure.
So that is,
Sure.
you know,
Yep.
and that would mean, you know,
Or we would take our plantings here and move them to the 25-foot.
correct,
So,
and the place cards.
and the place cards, right, obviously.
At least that's my thoughts.
Yeah, well, this is schematic.
Dan,
You work very hard.
after looking at the plans, anyone else have any more comments, any questions?
I just have a question. So the drain for runoff comes out in the basement's essentially on the other side of the street?
That's
Yeah,
what he
that's what-
says.
Yeah, that's the best, took part of that wall underneath
And,
there.
and, you know, just,
Yes,
you're gonna, I'm sorry, but on your new drawing, you're gonna make note of the invert of that pipe
yes,
and the
Yep.
flow path
Yep.
of that water.
absolutely.
So, just so I understand, so right now the lot is below that catch basin?
That's correct.
The entire lot is gonna come up 30 feet?
No.
So
No.
how do the physics of that work? Because we already have problem with that basin overflowing in any kind of heavy rain. We've called the highway department about it, but it doesn't even catch what it needs
Well,
to now
we-
because
yeah.
of where it is.
We think it's plugged up out in the street somewhere. And actually, if you look, this is all stone wall here.
Yeah.
Here's the basin. And you can almost stand there and see where it would leak out. There's almost like a little swale. So unless you take that wall apart totally, I'm not gonna know exactly where that pipe comes out there, but we believe it's here.
I think it's
You know.
important that we know where it comes out and where the water goes.
Well, yeah, we'll find out. We flipped this top here, and you can look and you can see the angle of that,
Okay.
the concrete pipe heading that way. So, you know, it's pretty much in here, and it will be below the driveway. That's why we kept the driveway.
So for our audience to
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
because it's hard if they're not looking at a
Yeah.
plan, how much higher will this lot, I guess the lot, I'm asking, the levels, the lot's gonna stay compared to the road? It's not coming up 30 feet.
It's not coming up
as
30
plans-
feet, no.
Okay.
Everything's still, as you can see where this taps in here, 115, so you got 115 comes in there. You got, that's all, keeps the 115, you're probably right level with the road, pretty close where the driveway, just above the driveway, where that system is. On this end here, it's about even with the road, and this end of it is below the road, will be below the road.
Is that
But
making
we're
sense to
19.
answer your question?
Before
Basically,
One end's 4
So
feet below the
the
road.
house grade comes up to the level of the road?
No,
no, just the
No.
driveway and part of the septic, I think you said, right?
yes,
So then how does
Yes.
the runoff run up?
it's not,
So where does it go?
The
Into the
back.
wetlands?
into the pond,
Same place it's going.
same place it's going, that's right,
Downhill.
downhill,
So what's
learned
gonna be
something,
coming
though.
out the front into the catch basin? Nothing?
Nothing.
nothing's being added to the catch basin. We can't get there.
You
Can I
got
ask one other
roof
question?
drains, you're treating the roof drain water.
We're not gonna treat it, it's clean, we're just gonna have an outlet here, and we'll just throw it in a bit of stone trench, because you're not gonna infiltrate it. Like I said, the water's breaking out of the ground there, you follow? So putting anything in the ground, it's not gonna do anything, that's right, it's not gonna do anything, so.
Yes.
Just a question, so it sounds like you guys have never allowed building within 25 feet of wetlands. That's what you're saying.
It's very rare. It's not that it's never happened, it's very rare.
So what about approving a house on a lot that's all buffer zone? Have you guys done that before? Or wetlands?
Most any of the houses around the lakes are in that situation,
So you've approved new construction,
yes,
so it's not pre-existing?
that's correct.
More questions, Mike? You good?
I'm good. You have anybody else have any questions?
When you
So
want
I think we're all on the same page, so.
Yeah, so now we'll
do
work
up
on the design
file.
and I'll be in touch and get on one of the next agendas.
Do you want to tell us when you'd like to come back, or do you want to be in touch with Wanda?
I'll be in touch with Laura.
That would
You're
be.
gonna need some,
Yeah, absolutely.
I think we have to continue it
Some
to
date.
some date specific.
Yeah, we do.
we do.
Okay.
So we have July 19th, August 2nd,
July
and
19th.
August 16th.
July 19th.
July 19th. That should give us
Motion
plenty of time.
continued, July 19th at
It will be, let's see, wasn't it now? 8:10.
At 8:10.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you for coming in.
Okay,
Have a
no
good night.
problem. You too. Thanks for your time.
I do have a certificate of compliance. This is for 213 Burbank Street. Okay.
That'll go to the next meeting also.
Okay. We're not meeting on Wednesday, July 5th. There's no meeting.
No.
So our next meeting's on July 19th. Anything else?
Hearing none, I make a motion to adjourn.
Okay, your favorite time.
Do I have a
will
second?
Second.
I think we have everything done.
Oh, that's a record time.
We signed everything.
You sure we get everything signed, right?
Everything's signed this time.
All right.
You guys can review the track sheets. I did send some by email.
Before we adjourn, just,
Yes.
I think we're, or at least the board's unanimous of agreement that Brandon probably should not be paying the refund.
Yes. Were you in on some of that?
No, I
He-
just heard what.
He sent the
here.
reimbursement, and I believe our feeling is that he was hired by the town
Right.
and to do things so that he shouldn't be shortchanged on it.
He was hired by us.
Hired by us, I'm sorry, hired by us, yeah.
The only problem is that each one who does the filing puts up consult fee. And if it's by the old bylaw that had a cap on it,
Regardless, we directed him to do the inspections.
yeah. So, somebody maybe needs to come speak to,
I'll deal with that, seeing as I get to be
Yeah.
chair again.
okay.
And I'm happy to tag on if you need some help.
So do you guys just switch chair positions on a
We rotate it
basis?
every year,
Every
Oh,
year.
That's interesting.
That gives everybody a chance. to-
Yeah.
except Bob.
He likes that chair. We have a motion on the table. Any more discussion?
I heard back from Brandon
Yeah, oh,
about that, and, so he has been out to 62 Lackey Road, and, he doesn't see that it's been done yet.
Okay. And when you did send a letter on that, Wanda, 62 Lackey?
I did.
Okay. So, stay on that. All those in favor?
Aye.
Hi.
Aye.
Okay, who did the second? I'm sorry.